Hi, today is March 24th, 2026, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 459 for the year, Big Peanut. The big peanut was glad that it was a peanut. If I were a penis, said the peanut, I imagine I would intimidate an awful lot of people. In fact, the peanut continued, even though no one had asked it to, in fact, I would imagine that only the most reckless size queens and kings would even dare to contemplate accommodating me if I were a penis and not a peanut. Just then, the hand that was barely big enough to hold the peanut clenched itself into a fist and cracked the peanut open. Slowly, cautiously, the entire peanut was consumed. And really, that is the optimal way to take on or take in such an enormous peanut, in prudent increments. Poem number 460, Little Giant. In the land of the giants, there was one named Jimmy who was so small that many in the giant community refused to recognize him as a giant at all. Of course, if you were to meet Jimmy, you would say he was enormous. You might even say to him, "Have I got a peanut for you?" But of course, you are not a giant. But on the other hand, you wouldn't be wrong. Jimmy stood about 27 feet tall, and though it is hard to imagine any community considering that to be small, in the land of the giants it is well below average. You probably know where this is going. Jimmy got the leg extension surgery and lived happily ever after, but still, isn't it kind of sad that one so tall would feel so inadequate that he felt he had to do such a thing? Poem number 461, Profound Revelation from a Chocolate Walrus. The chocolate walrus said, "Don't expect any profound revelations from me. For one thing, I'm made of chocolate. But for another thing, even if I wasn't, there's still the issue of me being a walrus. And ask yourself, when was the last time you heard a profound revelation from a chocolate walrus?" Poem number 462, The Air, the Sky, and the Stars. The air was a checkerboard, black and white squares. It made it hard to breathe, and it caught her unawares. The sky was flavored vanilla. She took another bite, and once her body was full of air, she took to flight. The stars were flashing headlights as she drove on and on. She's no longer in this universe. I don't know where she's gone. And the last poem of the day, poem number 463, The Bear, the Pie, and the Jars. The bear moaned in frustration, distracted himself with masturbation, which didn't mitigate his consternation. Within paw's reach there was the pie, his favorite, blueberry, but he wanted to cry, 'cause it might as well have been 100 miles up in the sky. Who was it who sealed those jars so tight that try as the bear did with all of his might, he couldn't get the pie, though he tried all night? All of this just goes to show, but what it shows I do not know. I'm sorry, but I have to go. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.